2023 was a wild and incredible year for Phobies. We were provided new maps to match wits on, an introduction to a veritable army of new Phobies to strategize with, including the discovery of the last elusive stress Phobies. And of course, who could forget the great puzzle that was the 1-year anniversary? Maybe it's just the season, but with all the cool things that happened this year, I felt compelled to take some time and look back at each of them. Welcome back, everyone, to Random's Thoughts. As mentioned, it is the season. It's the season for Phobies as well. We're closing out the year 2023, and you may have been able to tell I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to 2024 and what lays in store for us in the new year in the world of Phobies. But before we get there, I think it's worth looking back and appreciating all of the things that happened in this past year, because there were a lot of cool things. Just to give a shout out to the devs and the community as well. So we're going to jump into it. We're going to go in chronological order from the beginning of the year to the end as best that I can recall. But before we jump into things, I of course have to let everybody know that I am part of the content affiliate program. Phobies team does give me in-game coffee for producing Phobies content. But with that out of the way, let's get into it. Now, the beginning of 2023, at least the first 2 months, didn't really have a whole lot going on as we were eagerly anticipating what was going to happen for the first year anniversary. I know personally, I was very much looking forward to it. I had a lot of faith in the team that they were going to deliver something awesome. And awesome, they did deliver. Now, there were two major things that got introduced with the hunt for Vendy. We'll talk about the hunt itself momentarily, but the major piece that I wanted to call out first was the introduction of the event system. Now, if you've been around my stream at all, you know that I love events. I love tournaments. I like these snapshots that allow you to get excited in a different way than simple ladder play provides. In this case, with the events, it now drives people to look at different play patterns, maybe try out Phobies that they wouldn't ordinarily do, and of course, get in-game rewards for their efforts. I think this was an excellent system to add, and I absolutely look forward in the future to see how the team can expand upon it. We, of course, had a variety of events throughout the year where it would be Phobie Type A versus Phobie Type B, or even just focusing on a particular Phobie type. Hopefully, in the new year, we're going to see different events that encourage other play patterns, new strategies on different maps, or maybe they can just catch us with a curveball like they always do and surprise us with something completely out of nowhere. Now, of course, as we mentioned, there were two major things that happened around this time, and the second being the hunt for Vendy. I don't think anybody who's involved in Phobies at this time will ever forget this event. It was really amazing, the levels to which the team went to create this incredible event, this incredible scavenger hunt. Vendy, we love you. We couldn't live without you, and we got you back. Although there was some bumps along the way, and of course we met an interesting set of characters and other Phobies. It wasn't simply just fun and games, though. The event did provide some, we'll say, more tangible, at least as tangible as you can get in the realm of the subconscious that is Phobies. It provided 8 new Phobies and 3 maps: Pyro Abyss, Mesophobe, and Noughts and Crosses. It was also supplemented by Dial, Will Wuffalo, Tiny Tim, Ogre, Ice Cream, Wiggy, Creepy Devil, and Raucous. Each of these Phobies were incredibly impactful and definitely exciting at the time of their release, and we still see the ramifications of these Phobies through to today. They have certainly not all disappeared into the void. Each of these Phobies definitely make their presence felt in a variety of games, a variety of strategies, and on a variety of maps. Shout out to the team for not just the technical design and the balance on these Phobies, but also just the artistic direction and the sheer creativity. It ranges from the incredibly creepy to the adorable to the horrifying, just comes together in this amazing, fantastic, spectacular package. But it didn't, well, we did have to with just Vendy's birthday. We, of course, have more updates that came after that. not disappoint. We ended up receiving 10 new Phobies, 2 new tiles on top of 2 new maps. And those 2 maps allowed us to put the new tiles under the microscope. Of course, the maps I'm referring to are Locker Room Funk, as well as Diabolical. We received Poison and Disease tiles with this patch, and they are definitely making their presence felt whenever you load up onto these and other maps that have utilized them since then. The introduction of new tiles is something that most of us were anticipating. It's not just adding new abilities to the Phobies themselves, but the maps are a core integral part of this game, and it allows for a huge swath of strategies to now be birthed, and it provides certain Phobies that may have kind of ended up on the bench to suddenly spring forth into the game and carry the game and become an MVP. Now, most players are, of course, drawn to the Phobies. Maps are exciting, tiles are cool, but the Phobies are where the real game is at, right? We received another limited time Phobie in the Bombastic Bundle special offer, and that was Boggart. It, of course, now has made its way into regular packs, but it was not alone. Radiator, Furnace Face, Leela, Blue, shout out to all my Blue fans out there, Bloat, Tick, Cupcake, Sizzle, and Slayer. These Phobies have absolutely made an impact from the moment that they showed up, sometimes to the chagrin of many opponents. Looking at you, Cupcake, the twilight of 2023 began with patch 1.8, a patch that sings to me, Symphony of the Undead. We ended up with 9 new Phobies this time, yet again another new tile, and 7 new maps, 2 of which were contest winners, submitted by the community themselves. Now, of course, as we did before, we'll start with the maps Morbidity, Dearly Departed, Poem to Me, Phasmophobia, and Transaction Declined. Now, I mentioned 7, so I want to give a special shout out to the community-created maps. Hall of Mirrors, submitted by Rosaldo, and Rise to Stardom, submitted by Bean of Evil. Shout out to both of those contest winners, and I have to say, I like these maps. Overall, this addition of the maps from each of the patches has been incredible and dramatically changed the way the game is played. And I think over time, realistically, both the community and the devs have been able to learn together as to what makes bigger and better maps. But of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention all of the spooky, scary new Phobie additions, including Mummy. Now, Mummy, of course, similar to Boggart, was temporarily an exclusive offer that has now made its way into the card pool. But Mummy was not flying solo or burrowing solo, because that's actually Mummy's movement. Also, Maestro, Jaws, Goon, the Tooth Fairy, Bad Side Manners, Snappy, Giggles, and Bad Sheep have made their own respective imprint on the game. We've seen a number of these Phobies. Some of them are rising to the top and becoming regulars in a variety of players' games. Now, the final Phobie release for the year was actually a surprise. Last year, we did not receive a new Phobie in the winter months after the Halloween update. We, of course, had Vendy wearing a festive Santa hat, but this time around, we have a new Phobie, Frosty. Currently, it is still part of a very specific bundle, but we're looking forward to that showing up in packs soon because this Phobie seems to be a terror, and I am very excited to implement this in-game. Now, despite all of that, there was still more. We did get a release of the Phobie soundtrack. Now, I found myself over time humming the Phobie soundtrack, and although I am a content creator, I will readily admit I went and bought that thing as soon as I had the chance. I listen to it periodically, and I'll definitely catch myself hearing all of the Phobies tunes playing in my head as I'm doing other things. Additionally, there was mention from the team about a mentorship program that is going to be implemented and help onboard new players to this game that we know and love. As I said at the top, 2023 was a spectacular year. For one, I am very much looking forward to 2024 and what the Phobies dev team might have in store for. Up to this point, they've failed to disappoint. They've provided a number of things that not only that I wanted, but a huge number of things that I didn't even know that I wanted. It's incredible what they've been able to come up with and how creative they've been through to this point. So I'm hoping we see more of the same in the next year. Keep sending those surprises our way. Keep sending those Phobies our way. Let me know what your favorite thing was from this year, because there's a whole lot to choose from. And maybe let me know, what's your Christmas list? What would you ask Santa Vendy for in 2024? That's going to do it for now, everybody. So as always, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and tune in next time for more Random's Thoughts.